So it's the beginning of December. It's almost 12 years since I bought the house. Back in 2013, I was looking for a property which was detached, had a large garden, preferably some greenhouses, its own water source, and ample room to grow and do projects and enjoy the things I love. So back in December 2013, I found this cottage. It was actually the first house I'd ever looked at. I did look at some others, but none of them compared and had everything, all the features I wanted. So this is the house. If you can get it all in there. So it's a little cottage. It was built around 1760. We know something of the history of the house. It was originally used to house the parish poor before the introduction of workhouses in 1840. After 1840 it was sold and has passed through a number of different families over the years. It's a simple 2-up, 2-down cottage. In the 1950s, a single-storey extension was added which housed the kitchen and bathroom, which has now been modernised. And about 20 years ago, the conservatory was added onto. So I'm just going to give you a quick tour around the garden. So on this side you can see a range of outbuildings. They're in a poor state of repair. They did have a roof when I originally bought the property, but it fell down about 2 years later and it was always structurally unsound. Some of it remains intact. So walking across here now, we have what used to be the outside toilet, but probably the only toilet in this day, and there's still water source and drainage in there. So I now use that for my washing machine, which is stored in another outbuilding. And then coming across to this section, which is reasonably intact minus the roof, I've put a sort of temporary structure on top of that, and I store coal and other bits and pieces in here. In the corner you can see the old copper. This was originally used to clean clothes. It had a fire underneath, which you can see the grate at the bottom, and underneath what's on the chair now, you can see, or would be able to see, a pan which you could boil water up in. We have tried it and it's still functional, so I could use it in an emergency if I needed to. So the first part of the garden, it's a bit overgrown at the moment, and it's was largely ornamental, had a number of trees and plants. There is a small pond under there, and we do have some frogs occasionally. And then moving down, we've got a second set of outbuildings. These were originally pigeon coops, but now they've been just used mainly for storage. I tend to store tools, camping equipment in 2 of them, or outdoor equipment certainly. And going down to the last one, you can see this is now where the washing machine and tumble dryer live. As the house is too small to house them. So moving across, you can see the ambulance in the distance. This is a camper conversion project which is stalled at the moment, and then you can see a Some House. The Some House was a relatively new addition. I built it about 5 years ago, and I use it as an office for my business. There's another studio type shed down the bottom. Again, that was used by the previous owners as an artist workshop, but now it's just used for storage. There is a further shed behind these two which is used to store tools at the moment. So working my way down the garden, it's nice and secluded. I'll just nip back here a second, and if I can get around it, as you can see, the property backs onto fields, so there is fields beyond, and beyond those we're very fortunate to have around 1,000 acres of woodland surrounding the village. So where I live is fairly rural. It's a large village. We have all the amenities we need, really. There's a co-op, there's also a general store, a couple of takeaways and a few pubs, so everything you need to keep going. So over here we have the chicken run. This hasn't been used for a few years now. Since I've been here in the last 12 years or so, we've had 2 lots of chickens, but it's currently unoccupied. This is a plan for the spring. Going to sort it out again and get some new chicks. Then working down the garden, we have the first of the greenhouses and some bed boxes for growing things. They normally have strawberries in those too. Going down, there's an IBC which we use for storing water for the garden, and then the second greenhouse. There's nothing growing at the moment. Obviously we're past the main growing season. Along the borders there are some currant bushes, and there's some rhubarb in that container over there. We have the grill for outdoor cooking if that's ever required. And then moving back down the garden, you can see beyond the IBC we also have some water barrels which are pretty full with all the rain we've been having, and at the back there's the composters. So I've got 1 large and 3 standard size compost bins, which give me a good turnover. You can see we've got quite a lot of leaves on the ground at the moment. There's a lot of trees on the property, so we're always battling trying to tidy up leaves. So carrying on down the garden, the trees we've just passed, actually, those 2 over there are plum trees. You can see there's something hanging in them. This is to deter pests. And then moving round, we have cherry and green gage trees. And then coming over here, we have apple trees. So we have 1 large apple tree here, a further apple tree behind it, and then a smaller apple tree at the back. The one at the back tends to fruit later, so it gives a good supply of fresh fruit throughout the year. We have some raised beds. These are in need of some TLC. This year I've grown onions and a few other things in there, and we have a stack of boxes which I've used to grow things like carrots and radishes last year. Along the side of the greenhouse there's also a selection of gooseberry bushes where we generally get a good crop from. And moving down the garden, we have the bean canes, again a bit overgrown, and lots of leaves I need to rake up. There's a beam which normally has raspberries trailed across it. And then moving down the garden, we have the burning bin. There's a few Christmas trees, very seasonal. Going down the garden, the wooden structure right there is actually for propping up an archery target when I get round to practicing, although the range is a bit overgrown at the moment. And then at the bottom of the garden we've got some more raised beds which I put in this year. Most of the crops have been harvested from them. There was a few bits of kale left, but I think they're past their best now. Moving into the back of the garden, again this needs some further clearance, but there was quite a lot of blackberries here during the autumn. And now moving on to some of our water storage. So we've got the IBC in the middle of the garden, and here we've got 7 barrels for the water storage. The water's pumped up from the stream. So moving down to the bottom of the garden, you can see there's another big brambles patch that needs tidying up. Plenty of jobs to do. And you can see here a hose reel. So normally we would attach a pump to the hose, and that would fill the barrels, and the water comes from the stream. So if I go down right to the bottom of the garden, you can see a black pipe. That pipe goes into the stream, which is flowing briskly past us at the moment. In the 12 years I've been here, it's never actually dried up, so we've had a constant flow of water. I do need to test the water to see if it is drinkable, but it's been fine for watering crops and other grey water tasks so far. So I'm just walking back up the garden now. You can see again there's quite a few trees. I'm not sure what these are, but they're very prickly. And then again some more prickly trees here. Behind the fence line you can see there's more fields. Don't think you can see every fence at the moment. The garden has always been very private with high boundaries, which I do appreciate. Now walking back up the garden, you can see once more lots of leaves to clear up. That might be a job for later. The greenhouses, and you can see sort of the size of the property. The actual footprint is about 1/3 of an acre. The house is tiny, so most of the rest is made up with garden and some outbuildings. Although not a small holding, in its day the area which I'm now in was originally an allotment which fed the residents of the poor houses and allowed them to generate an income in order to support themselves further. So I hope you've enjoyed our little tour of the property, and we'll catch you again soon. Goodbye now.